Good morning, everybody. Many Face Publishing, man. How's everybody today? It's a beautiful weekend out. Wasn't too much happening in sports yesterday. Just baseball pretty much. Yankees finally, they broke their 3-game slide. I believe they won 8-3. Boone ejected again. And he's a real fiery coach that stands up, manager that stands up for his players. And I like that. Even though I criticize, the way he manages, he's been doing a decent job this year with his team. But I feel like over the recent couple of weeks, the pitching has been getting exposed a little bit. They're gonna have to make some adjustments, man. The good thing is, Yankees got the ace and Cole, so hopefully everything gets right by the All-Star break and beyond, because you're only gonna go as far in baseball as your pitching staff takes you. If you can't pitch, you're not gonna win in the postseason. So, let's see what happens, man. Hopefully they turn it around, and injuries are starting to catch up to them as well. Started with Soto, your 3 best players are all hurt. But they're playing, except for Stanton, who may have pulled a hamstring, and he's already not as mobile as needed to be. So he's already like a liability mobile-wise, and with him being injured in his hamstring, he may be out for some time. And he was having a great season, man. He was hitting, he was getting in a rhythm. He was hitting some homers, and he was starting to look like the old Stanton over the last couple of weeks. And to get injured is unfortunate. Aaron Judge, he came back strong from his injury after being hit in the hand, and he's still jacking them. Pause. And he's at 28 now. So he's looking like if he can get to 35, 40 by the All-Star break. I mean, I'm bugging thinking that, but the way he's hitting home runs, he gets hot, man. And if he can get to about 35, in between that, by the All-Star break, he may have a chance at that 70 home run, 73, man. Because you still got a whole month of August, man. Imagine if he hits 20 home runs in August, and then you still got September. So, right now he's at 28. So he's 28 home runs for being at 56. And remember, he's missed some games. So let's see what happens, man. Right now I'm watching Infinity Wars. It's my shit, man. But Vision has to be one of the weakest. They made him mad weak, man. My son Thanos just ripped the shit out of his head. That shit, wow, man. Like, did him dirty, man. But he beat the Hulk. Like, he beat the anger out the Hulk, man. Made the Hulk not even want to turn back. The whole movie, man. Like, this is my shit here, man. They need to bring out more villains, man. Like Thanos, like the better ones, but it's hard to show those guys like Galactic, those cosmic entities, because that's what will have to be after Thanos. You have to bring some cosmic entities, and DC Comics, to me, they have their villains a little bit stronger, but they don't produce enough movies. I don't know if it's probably the budget, and then them not selling as much as the Infinity Wars and Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics has more characters, more superheroes. DC, they got some good villains, man, that I would like to see. Like, you got Pariah, you got what's my man, the Anti-Monitor. They need to come out with that, man, and that will probably, it's gonna be a big budget, but that'll definitely bring people to the box office. If you come out with a damn invincible opponent for the Justice League, man, and you name it after the Justice League, and then you show them form together more people and figure out a way how to beat the Anti-Monitor. Because in the comic books, it's going to be hard, but the budget to make that type of movie is going to be crazy. So we'll see what happens, man. The boxing world wasn't much happening in boxing. I didn't really follow up this week. Last week Tank got that knockout. And we pretty much knew that was gonna happen, man. The inexperience of Frank Martin. And sometimes with boxing, to me, sometimes they put these guys in a little bit too fast, and they don't have that experience. And he's a late starter in boxing. He needed more fights, but this is a big payday for him. So, I'm assuming that he got paid handsomely for this fight, but it may derail his career. Because now your chin's been exposed. People know they can knock you out. You know what I'm saying? And they know what you're accessible to now. So, hopefully he can rebound. We still haven't seen Spence back in the ring. These layoffs, man, might cook his career. As I stated before, when I was talking to Mr. Foreman on Twitter about a day or two after that fight, and I felt like Spence should retire. I only said that because we've never seen guys come back and be the same after beating like that. You look at Joe Frazier and George Foreman. Frazier was never the same after, Foreman beat him, knocked him down 6-7 times. Who else? Jeff Left Hook Lacey, Roy Jones. But Roy Jones is a combination of, him playing with his weight. And I kept telling people that years ago, he's up and down in weight. And, that's not good. Who else we got, man? They got beat down real bad. Mike Tyson was never the same. After the Douglas fight, even though he was winning fights, he still, people saw the blueprint how to beat him. It wasn't never the same after the Holyfield fight either. Who else we didn't think of, man? When you look at Sugar Ray Leonard, when he lost to Duran, he was in the fight. We're talking about guys that got totally destroyed. Like Spence was never really in that fight. Another person that's not going to be the same is Devin Haney. Even though he went the distance and, he got a no contest, because Ryan, had supplements in the system or whatever, the illegal stuff in the system. People now have a blueprint and seeing what you're susceptible to now and know how to beat you. You may never be the same, and we don't know if you're mentally going to be the same. Let your hands go. Nightmares of what happened before we don't know. But with Spence, these long layoffs, man, I felt like he should have been back in the ring 6 months later. Stay active, man. But that also, the activity is this pay-per-view thing. Because it's these guys, whenever they fight, everything's pay-per-view. And, they're not, we're not getting normal. Everything has to be about the opponents and how they sell the fights now. And, before, when I was growing up watching boxing, you used to get boxing on HBO. You got boxing on USA Today TV, ESPN. You got regular fights on. I could take you back to Wild World of Sports in the 80s, man. We used to get free fights, man, like good fights. And, now, guys are not getting chances to really showcase unless they're on an undercard or a pay-per-view. Or, and now it's like every once in a while, ESPN shows fights. These fights are not consistent. So we're not seeing the talent as much unless you order pay-per-view. So you're making it harder for these guys to really be stars unless they really stand out. You have some great young fighters like Abdullah Mason, Shoo Carrington, the kid Kermon Mooten. We got some good young fighters out here, man. There's a few others I'm not naming. We got Espinoza, this other kid, Bam Rodriguez. There was another one that just fought on the Puerto Rican Day. We got some good fighters out here, and but we need to see more action. The only ones that are fighting more, the ones that are fighting on like ESPN and stuff, and but like I said, after that, we're not, it's just pay-per-view things. Like, to me, it's killing the sport, because everybody can't afford $80. Like, say if you want to see your favorite fighters and they're all fighting, one wants to fight in May, one wants to fight at the end of May. You got somebody spending $200 they may not have just to watch these fights. And this is why you got people streaming fights. This is why, people don't buy the fights as much. So people may, win, but there's a lot of losing going on. So, what I mean? Like, because now the fighters are selling the fights, so now they're gonna get less marketed unless they have big name opponents, which is gonna slow and derail their career even more, because now you gotta find opponents. Nobody's gonna pay for a pay-per-view, and this is why people give Canelo backlash. Nobody wants to pay for you to fight John Ryder. If I'm gonna pay a pay-per-view fight, because that's how it was back in the days, those were action-packed fights, like big name fights that we thought was gonna be classics. Tyson Holyfield, Oscar De La Hoya Trinidad, De La Hoya Mayweather, Mayweather, De La Hoya Sweet Pea, Roy Jones, versus James Toney, even though I think it was an HBO fight. I don't think it was a pay-per-view fight. I think it was an HBO fight, but they were the fights. And those are two undefeated fighters. Today, that would have definitely been a pay-per-view fight. Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler. Those are good fights. Tommy Hearns, Hagler. Those are big fights, and those were like fights that people wanted to see that were pay-per-view. These guys are fighting on pay-per-view, and they're fighting mediocre opponents sometimes. So it's like, and then they're trying to sell these fights, and we kind of really pretty much know these outcomes. The Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney was that was a pay-per-view fight. Two big names. Tank Garcia was a pay-per-view fight. That was a good fight. That people wanted to see. Those are highly anticipated fights. We would like to see Canelo versus Benavidez. Probably won't get that fight. But it is what it is. Beterbiev, hopefully he comes back from his injury, and it's 100%. But he's getting older, and he's getting ready. We need to see him and Bivol unified. And what I mean? But we need to see more. I'm advertising for the fighters to get paid, but they need a system so that we can see more fights, man. I think it's too many promoters, and I like what the Ali brothers doing overseas. He's trying to put his money up to make these fights happen, and we need more investors like that. And that will, put these fights together, man. Hopefully they can come up with some type of commission and organize the sport a little bit more and unify it, where they can have the Olympic style testing on every fighter at all times, and start matchmaking these fights, and giving the fans what they want to see. That's what we're looking for, man. Waiting for the basketball. free agency thing to start. I believe it starts the 30th. You know, I want to see where a lot of these guys go.
Mr. Secretary.
It's going to determine, you know, where a lot of these guys go, how, you know, these playoffs going to pan out. Hopefully they do away with that stupid preseason tournament. You know, that shit is stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not bringing any fans. And nobody respects the championship deal. It's just a, you know what I mean? It's a waste of time, man. And you know, nobody respects that stuff, man. Nobody's hanging up that banner. Nobody should hang up that banner. You know, and you know, let's, you know, this heat out here today, man. Me and my son probably take a walk later. Gotta clean my face up a little bit. You know, I posted videos yesterday, you know, talking about, you know, friendship, things like that, thinking. And, you know, I want people to be out here thinking, using their head, man. Like, you know, and, you know, friends having, you know, your best interest. You know, I feel like that's really important, man. A lot of people say they're your friends, but don't really have your best interest. And, you know, even some families like that, man. You got some family members that they only care about themselves. They don't really have your best interest. You know, and these are people you need to stay away from, man. Anybody trying to drag you into the mud, drag you into their problems, get away from them, man. Everybody has their own problems. There's nothing wrong with helping people or being there for somebody, but there's a difference when somebody's dragging you into things constantly. Everything about them is controversial. Everything about those people just, you know, they just always have problems, and then you being around them, and then you know, trying to be a good friend constantly in the middle of their battles. It's not good. It's not good at all. You know, and then these be the same people that when you need help, ain't nowhere to be found, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't, you know what I'm saying? You start looking back and you be like, damn, what did this person ever, he ever help me, you know, when I needed some money? Did he ever, you know, did he or she ever help me, you know, with my kids, anything like that? Did he or she ever, you know, help me get a job? You know, did I ever have to come to this person? You know what I'm saying? You start to look and you be like, damn, you know, this person ain't really do shit for me, man. But every time I turn around, you know, my hand is always out. Or, you know, it's always me doing something. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gotta, you know, you gotta choose people that have your best interests around you and care about you and your family. And will value that. It won't push you in positions where, you know, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. Pause. You know. And you know, it is what it is, man. This country, man, you can see a lot of darkness in a lot of people in this country, man. My little man's, you know, asleep. But the darkness in this country, man, is just brewing, man. And, you know, there's some fucked up people here, man. You know, a lot of fucked up things were done to our people. But, you know, all in all, throughout this country, this is, you know, there's a lot of great people here. And then there's some fucked up people here. And this is not about color or anything like that. There's some fucked up people here, man. People do some weird things, man. You know, people, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got child trafficking. Like, how can you? And this goes back to like slavery, man. Like selling people's kids, and you know, making people breed, so you can have more slaves to sell and trick. Like, how can you live with yourself? And it's like, I couldn't live with myself. Like, I would rather die, man, than allow you to sell my kids. Like, I can't live with myself. I can't walk around and just be compliant, man. Like, nah, you trying to sell my, we all dying, be like, you gonna have to severely beat me or kill me. Like, I can't live with myself like that, man. And I don't know how people can live with themselves doing that to other human beings and have a family. So you go home with your family and it's okay, but that man's family got his kids snatched off the streets or whatever, and you're selling that kid, to some weirdo overseas or some weirdo. They breed a lot of these kids, man.
What colors?
I personally think, man, they breed these kids to do certain shit when they get older, to be subservient, to carry out orders and things like that. I literally believe that, man. I believe they a lot of people are paid actors. I believe these kids that they kidnap and they grooming them and raising them to be, prostitutes, husbands and wives and slaves to the things they do. And government. I think these governments and the CIA, man, which we don't know who really runs the CIA, but they're definitely ran by some powerful investors, and I think that that's how they keep control of a lot of things. Just my opinion. I think that when I look at like athletes and stars and celebrities, I think they cater to their desires, man. So when you look at certain guys, I think it's like, they know what you like and they put it in front of you. They know these guys probably never had money before, or some of them are paid actors. But, imagine, you being a star and they come and tell you, look, man, go to this club over here. You got all the joints, and they're lining you with these joints, man. You know what I'm saying? These girls are just, look at the type of women that most guys have. So, like, say you a guy like a Patrick Mahomes, who's a laid-back guy, probably doesn't want to hang out too much, likes a certain kind of women. They're going to breed you with that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, basketball stars, or guys that like the urban type of life and like those thick girls and all that. If you like them white, they're gonna have some white girls for you, thick and white and urban, that act more urban. If you like the sisters, you like the exotic joint, you gonna get all that put in front of you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's designed, to me, I feel like it's designed that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they designed that, you know what I'm saying, for these brothers, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, put them right in front of you, some date within the industry or whatever, but you look at a lot of these dudes, especially basketball players, they be hood, and they put you with these hood type women, and I think that they're being bred like that, man. And what they do, you spend up your money, you spending your money on them, and it keeps you distracted, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, a guy like Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not he's a reserve guy, so he's just a regular, normal dude. He ain't into the night scene and stuff like that. You don't really hear about him in the night scene too much, and carrying on, and you know what I'm saying? He's more, you can tell he's more of like a family type guy, and they know how to, you know what I'm saying, trust me, they watch us and they know how to match us up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like a college kid or whatever. You like, you know, they usually have something for you there, man. You like the you know, like I say, like them young girls, them urban girls, them big booty Instagram model girls. Oh, they gonna have that for you. It won't be there, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be smart enough not to get caught up. And a lot of these dudes, they get caught up, man. They start having kids with these girls, or they get into relationships, and, you know what I mean? Like, and then the girls, you know, have them spending all this money on them, you know, and these lifestyles that they live in, you know, be far beyond the means. Just because you see guys get these contracts, don't mean that they, you know, got their money stacked. Hopefully they do. Some of them, you know, a lot of these guys be popped, man. They end up broke, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's a way to keep us distracted, man. And you know, I mean, like me, I'm just a poor brother, man. You know, just taking care of my family. I don't have much, but you know, I'm trying to, you know, do the best I can to provide for my kids and make sure that they have what they want. And I want to leave my legacy, and you know what I'm saying, at least leave them something, man. You know, so they can build off of. You know, I have my books. For those who don't know, I have Two-Face, Rise of a Menace, Good Friday, which is a horror, short story horror book. And I have another book called Secrets of Deception, a book about undercover agent in search of a terrorist. And yo, that book is crazy. And these are old books, but you know, hey, maybe my kids can, you know, when they get older, God willing, they can, you know, take those books and do something with it. You know, hopefully by the time, you know, they get older, you know, those books will be sellers. And, you know, I can leave my family something, man. You know, I want to leave them property, you know, I want to leave them something to grow on as that you know, that they can, you know, build from and, you know, make something out themselves. You don't want your kids struggling, but also you want to teach them, you know, hard work and how to develop skills and stuff like that too. You know, I want my kids to develop skills. I don't necessarily care about college. I would like to see, you know, them develop, especially my son, develop skill sets. You know, be able to do things that, you know, he can make money for himself. And no matter what it is, if you can make some money for yourself and be your own boss, that's what I'm looking for him. Excuse me 1 second, man. Something in my eye, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want him to be able to do things for himself and create his own wealth. Like my teacher tells me when we be practicing, I'm just giving you the tools. And you got to figure out how you can apply it to yourself. And, you know, that's what we want to do with our kids, man. Give them the tools to survive and let them figure things out on their own, tweak it their way. You know, so it works for them. And it's still, you know, good values. You know, because I'll tell you, for me, a lot of my homies, when I was young, taught me how to be tough and stand up for yourself and to fight and things like that. And, you know, prison will teach you respect and honor and things like that. And you know, being a man and understand, you know, like I said, respect and things like that, you're going to learn from prison. Islam, for me, it taught me how to be a man. It taught me discipline. You know, it took away fears. You know what I'm saying? It gave me it gave me something. It gave me something to ponder on. And I've always been into, the beauty of creation. And I'm a person that I don't I don't think I'm self-created. I don't call myself God and all this stuff. I do believe that we are in control of our minds and our decision making, and everything we do has consequences, and they can be good or bad. But I believe in a higher power and the Creator. I don't think we just landed here on Earth without no, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like everything is designed for us to be here. There's food here, plenty of food. So we were put on this earth with everything we needed. And yet we pay for everything, but we gotta pay for food that's already here. We're paying for animals that were placed here for free for us. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon we're gonna be paying for air. You know what I'm saying? Like, but all these things are provided for us from the Creator. Air, gravity. We were so, self-sufficient, and there was no higher power that created us. Why don't we just float away? Why do we die? What's the point of death? Something, created us for us to be like that. For us to die, for us to be here on this earth, for us to not be able to fly, just float away. Yeah, your mind, can take you anywhere with your imagination. Sorry. Your imagination can take you anywhere. It sure can. I can imagine being in Egypt. I can imagine being anywhere. But the reality is I'm right here. So your mind can turn into a simulation. The reality is I'm sitting in my living room. But my mind can take me to Pelham Bay Park. My mind can take me to Central Park. My mind can take me to Cali. You know what I'm saying? All you need is an image. That's it. So, I'm a firm believer in the Creator. Look at the things around you, man. Now people, they have a problem with religion, and most religions were tampered with. Quran wasn't tampered with, and it's not and these books were not really, people think these were books that just magically fell out of the sky, and they weren't. The Quran was revealed for a 23-year period. There's revelations that were memorized and put into a book form. Remember, Arabs, back then weren't readers and writers like that. Only a handful of them were readers and writers, so the stuff was memorized. And it was put into a book form so that we can, have that there, for eternity, and it not be tampered with. But it was revealed during the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him. And the people were learning as we went along. So it's like, when we read the Quran, we can also study, from the Prophet's ways and actions, how he did things. And then we can also, if something is, is a little confusing, we can go to, how did the Sahaba handle certain things, or, what scholars may say. But we have to follow the Quran and Sunnah. Those things have to coincide. It can't be something that they roguely did on their own. and we follow it, and it's going against the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in the Quran, you know, things have to coincide. But you know, we look at, you know, these other you know, religions, they're not in their original form. So, you know, people have rewritten a lot of these you know, ways of life to fit and suit their own people and to benefit from it, you know, to control people, things like that. Islam can be used like that as well if you're not a well-knowledge brother and grounded in Quran and Sunnah and not blindly following, you know, people that can dazzle you with speech. But we don't know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people deal with oppression. A lot of people deal with different things in their country that we may not be privy to, which may cause them to react a certain way. And there's also culture when it comes to people getting distorted. Some people can mix their culture with religion, and that's not good, because you can allow your culture can take you outside of the folds of your religion. You know, some people will believe in some wild things. You know, some people can believe in so much spirituality that it takes them outside of the folds of, you know, the oneness of the Creator. And you can lead yourself astray like that. And it happens in every religion: Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. People can be extreme. Allah says don't be extreme. You know, all your answers, I'm gonna be honest with you, all the answers people need are in the Quran on human behavior. Oh, they're there. You know what I'm saying? People, they view the religion based off people and not read the scriptures, the original scriptures. You know, so like to, you know, you gotta understand and learn how to read Arabic to fully understand the Quran, to, you know, because we're reading a translation and people can translate it and interpret things their own way. Not saying that brothers that, you know, and translate the Quran or translate these other books, because all these books are written in foreign languages, but they're being translated. So I think it's important for us to learn the original languages of these scriptures, so that, you know, we get the full understanding. And then there's a lot of books, you know, particularly, you know, when you deal with Christianity, that are, you know, have been hidden away and removed. And, you know, if these is God's words, who gave you the authority to remove and hide, you know, saying the knowledge from the people for your own personal gain? So the Bhagavad says, you know, the Jews and the rabbis, you know, people took the Jews from the rabbis as their Lord, like, and they allowed them to make the rules and things like that. And, you know, they took it upon themselves to do things and sold the book for a measly price. That's a deep statement there. For their personal gain. You know, so, you know, it's you know, like, you have to study, man, and people have to educate themselves. And, you know, this is what deters people from being religious or wanting to, you know, follow religions, because of things like that. But we look at man and judge religions based off man and what man does and how they manipulate these religions to benefit themselves. And, you know, it can make people, you know, stay far away from religion. People turn atheists. People be like, man, I ain't messing with that religion. Or they look at what some of these religions have done to some of these societies out here. like America and the African societies out there, and even through Europe, you know. And then you look at what governments do to some of these countries and people, and how they want to control people and take away your ability to think and voice your opinion. So there's a lot going on in this world. This is a dark world we live in. There's some real dark people out here that are very evil. Like I said, human trafficking is an evil thing, man. You know, selling people, ripping up families. How can you live with yourself, look in the mirror, go home knowing that I'm setting this young girl up to be raped, tortured, killed, I'm kidnapping kids, transporting and selling them, or I got slaves, I'm breeding slaves. And this is why I said people in this country, especially of color, like brothers, definitely deserve something from what happened to our people. Some people say, oh, well, dude, you wasn't dead, it happened to you, but we still feeling the effects. We were still getting thrown on racially profiled, or getting shot by police, segregation, discrimination from jobs, and stereotype. These things still go on. Yeah, we deserve something out of this shit. And our lands was taken from us. But, that's another story, man. It's a dark place we live in, man. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. And we gonna find that light. Anyways, man, I think I took up enough time, to my audience, to myself, or very few followers I do have. But, I will get back at you, brothers. Many Face Publishing, like I said, go get the books Two-Face, Rise of a Menace, Good Friday, and Secrets of Deception. Secrets of Deception, you can look under Tory Jackson, and you'll find that book. Two-Face, Rise of a Menace, you can look at, you'll probably find my name on there as well. Good Friday, you'll see a shadow on the cover. I would get the covers and show it right now, the books, but, I have my son, holding my son, and he's asleep. I'm about to put him down. But, maybe I'll post those books later, God willing. But anyways, man, people enjoy this Sunday. It's a beautiful day outside, it's nice and hot. It looks humid, and hopefully after this it'll cool down, and we can get some normal days in. But anyways, Many Face Publishing, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.